הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
So my friends, it's with the words of the Psalms that I welcome you all into Temple Beth Israel on this Monday morning as we join with a mother and father, an older brother, a grandmother and a cousin, a close family friend, and cousins and other grandmothers and people that are joining us through Zoom, through no fault of their own, as I might say, but also those who are joining us through the live streaming of YouTube. It's just such a privilege and pleasure to be able to welcome new life into family and into community. And so I'm going to invite the parents of our guest of honor to come a little closer into the center of our bima, together with the elder brother, as we welcome you, Dan and Elise, I should say, to this place which is becoming increasingly familiar in your family's story. And it is a pleasure to welcome you here. And now as we transition into the ceremony of welcome, our ceremony this morning has three parts. It begins with ceremonial welcome and then extends to the rites of covenant, of milah, and then of naming. And it's really a wonderful time to be able to be together. Those words that Ida was singing were how good it is for brothers and sisters, family and friends to be together at this time, and it certainly is that exceedingly good for us all. Let's go back to those words as we continue to celebrate together.
שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לה 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 לה, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לה 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 לה, הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
So it's great that we can be together, both physically together, yes, at a bit of a distance, but physically together, but even more wonderful that we can all be together celebrating this occasion. So I'm going to invite Anne-Marie, the grandmother of our guest of honor, to bring our honored guest into this space and into this moment with the traditional words of welcome that have been passed down through the Shoshelet HaKabbalah, through the chain of tradition in our community from generation to generation. Baruch haba b'shem Adonai, blessed is he who comes into this place in the name of God. I'm going to get you to turn around and show him to everyone.
ברוך הבא בשם אדוני, ברכנוך מבית אדוני. ברוך הבא בשם אדוני, ברכנוך מבית אדוני.
See his little face. I'm going to invite you, Anne-Marie, to bring him and stand just alongside of this chair over here. And I'm going to take a moment to reference this chair. For the next little while, this chair shall represent the chair of Elijah the prophet. You who return children to the hearts of a parent, and to parents the hearts of a child. This is your chair, Elijah. Send your guardian powers to protect this child as he strives throughout life to keep the covenant into which we are welcoming him today. This is your chair, Elijah. Help us all to spread the message that the time is ripe for a new beginning, and that the heralding, the arrival of a new child is a perfect reminder of that and the joy that comes. I'm going to invite our son, Dick Louis, who's been given the honor, to come and have a seat now in this chair. And as he takes that honorific position, I will remind us the words of the Talmud, that every person is born into the world represents something new, something that has never existed before, something original and unique. It is up to us to know and to recognize that this new person is unique in the world, a singular character and personality, and that there has never been anyone like this child before. For if there had been, there would be no need for this child to be here. And oh my gosh, there is certainly a need for this child to be here. To welcome him into this family circle, I'm going to invite Elise or Dan, whichever one of you has the free hand. There's a reading on that sheet in front of you on the bottom of the page.
May you live to see your world fulfilled. May your destiny be for worlds to come. May you trust in generations past and yet to be. May you live to see your world fulfilled. May your eyes shine with the light of holy words, and your face reflect the brightness of the heavens. May your lips ever speak wisdom, your fulfillment be in justice. Even as you ever yearn to listen to the words of the holy ancient one of old, may you live to see your world fulfilled. May your destiny be for worlds still to come. May you trust in generations past and yet to be. Thank you, Isaac. May you live to see your world fulfilled. May your heart be filled with intuition. May your words be filled with insight. May your songs of praise be upon your tongue, vision straight before you. Even as you ever yearn to listen to words of the holy ancient one of old, may you live to see your world fulfilled.
Indeed, may you live to see your world fulfilled. And as you heard your older brother say hello to your grandmother, she has joined us on screen to continue these words of welcome and the celebration of new life. And Ingrid, I'm going to invite you to offer the next reading on behalf of all of this child's grandparents.
We echo the prayers of our children. May the happiness which emanates from them today forever fill their home and their family. May we help them to care for and to nurture this child and continue to shower them with love and affection we first felt for them when they came into this world. We thank you, O God, for the miracle of life and for the length and for enabling us to reach this day.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shechianu v'kiyamanu v'hiyanu b'zman hazeh. And then Howard, we've asked you to share a reading on behalf of all the extended family and friends, because as we know, it certainly does take a village, and
Sure.
celebrate the village that this child is blessed to be part of.
Sure. Our God and God of all generations, we are grateful for the new beginning, for the bond of life that links one generation to the other. We are thankful for the blessings of family and the joy of close friends who bring meaning and happiness to our lives. And we rejoice Dan and Elise as they welcome their son in our family.
We certainly do enjoy and celebrate all of that. Hine ma tovim anayim shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is that we can all be together.
הנה מה טוב מנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב מנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב מנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
And So having welcomed this young man into family, into community, into the village that will raise and rear in, we transition to the second part of our ceremony, our service, as we welcome him in to covenant, and I invite you to place him on the lap of the sandik. The rite of circumcision is a mitzvah. It's a sign of the covenant with God, as it is written. And God said to Avraham Avinu, "You shall keep my covenant, you and your children after you. He who is 8 days old shall be circumcised, every male throughout your generations." Eternal one. Dan, we're going to need you. So as we move into this moment, Dan, there's a declaration of a parenthood that we're going to need for you to read in the middle of this page.
We are ready to fulfill the mitzvah of circumcision as the Creator, praised be Adonai, has commanded us in the Torah. Throughout your generations, every male among you shall be circumcised when he is 8 days old.
And I'm going to invite you to struggle your way through the Hebrew that's in transliteration below that. Or in Hebrew, whichever one you feel like. Hinei muchan.
Hinei muchan u'mezuman lekayam mitzvah asher shitavenu boreh yitbarach lamul et b'nei.
And so we hand over to you, Dr. Unger.
Now, Daniel, so you know that since the time of Abraham, when God commanded Abraham to circumcise his son, the honor of fulfilling this commandment has gone to the father. So I'm happy to hand the instruments to you, or I can fulfill this mitzvah on your behalf.
Happy for you to do it on our behalf.
And so you stay married.
And alive.
Any good to comfort this child, or to be honest, to comfort his mother and grandmother as we transition into this space? Ido, why don't you teach us to sing together? Pretty simple, goes a little bit like this. Having completed the rites and rituals of Milah, we transition now to offer a prayer of healing for this young man, a prayer of comfort for his family, and a prayer of healing for his mother, who continues to return to strength, having brought new life into this world. The words, the prayers that we offer now are ancient words of liturgy set to a very modern melody. A melody which here at TBI has really carried us through this difficult year of 2020, reminding us of our fragility, but also reminding us of our strength. A prayer for healing. Asher Yatzar.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu מלך העולם אשר יצר את האדם בחוכמה ורבו נקבים חלולים גלוי וידוע לפני כיסא מרדכי שאם יתפתח אחד מהם או יסתם אחד מהם אי אפשר להתקיים ולעמוד לך ברוך אתה אדוני ובכל עשה ומפעיל לעשות
And so having completed the welcome to community, to family, having entered this young man as his brother before him into the covenant of our people, we now take great privilege in bestowing on him his name. It's done as a gift from parents to child, but it's also done through the words of tradition and the words of liturgy. Eloheinu v'Elokei Avotenu v'Imotenu, our God of our fathers and mothers, Kayam et hayeled hazeh lavi ulimo, sustain this child through his parents' loving care. Vayikra shmo beYisrael, Eli ben Daniel ve'Elisheva. Let him be known amongst our people as Eli, the child of Dan and Elise. Let him be known as Elliot, Artiner Gold. Did I get the pronunciation right? I was working on it. I wasn't perfect. Yismach ha'av imo b'itzach chalatzav v'tagel imo b'ripitna. May this name be a source of joy to him and inspire him to serve our people and all humanity. May his parents rejoice in his growth of body and soul as they have brought him into this moment, and he's asleep, or not almost asleep. So may they, with patience and with joy, continue to bring him to a life of study, of wisdom, of good deeds, and most of all, the blessing of a loving family. And to that we say, Amen.
Amen.
Dan, I'm going to invite you to come and take a step forward, so you're a little closer to friends and family. At least you can join him, just step in front of where we are, and say a word or two about the choice of names. Both you can start. Breathe.
I've run out of breath because of holding the baby for 10 minutes. That was not part of the plan, I didn't think. Anyway, I didn't have a lot to say about the name specifically, but I think a lot of people watching and here would be relieved to know that the name's not Larry Gold, okay, which was the front runner for a little while. But anyway, thanks everyone for being here. And as if there wasn't enough to worry about with the whole pandemic, then my cousin Howard, who is obviously going to play the role of Sundek today, flies down from Sydney and just happens to be on the one bloody flight with the COVID quarantine breach. So that's obviously meant that Howard and my mother Ingrid, who he's staying with, are at home watching via Zoom, and neither of them could actually be at today's ceremony. As it happened, we hadn't actually caught up with Howard or Mum yet, and everyone on the flight thankfully has tested negative to COVID anyway, but still a massive drama and very much sums up the year 2020 in many ways.
Very bad.
When I called Louis yesterday to ask if he could step in and play the role of Sundek, he just very innocently made the observation that I'd have no immediate family. So just like now, I've obviously broken down in tears because it was only a few years ago that we were literally, we were here for Isaac's Bris, and my dad was the Sunday for that ceremony. So he passed away shortly after Isaac's birth, and we miss him dearly. Now on to, everywhere I look, there are people crying. It's very hard. Anyway, so now on to Elliot. This child has basically been feeding non-stop ever since birth. He'll literally finish a 2-hour feed still ravenous. And just as Elise thinks that she's getting some sleep, he'll start crying again and scrunch up his face and start eating the air, looking for more food. So I think that my dad might actually be around in some kind of way because, as the legend goes, he still to this day holds the record at Johannesburg Hospital for the longest first feed ever, and also the most amount of weight gain prior to leaving the hospital as well. So Elise, I think we're going to have our hands full with this one, but I know that we'll be fine because we always are, and I look forward to going through this next chapter of life with you. Some quick thank yous. Howard, we feel terrible that you've come all the way down from interstate to be with us, and now you're in lockdown, but thank you. And Anne-Marie, you've also come down from Darwin. You're probably wishing that you were in a strict lockdown right now, a very remote one, as I'm sure that might be preferable to living with us and having to put up with us all. But we're most thankful for your motherly love and for allowing us an hour or two of sleep. My mum, again, also on Zoom. You've already given so much of your energy and time and love to Isaac. We really appreciate it. And it's beautiful to see the closeness of the relationship that you've developed. Simon, Louis, Mandy, Isaac, Rabbi Gersh, and David. Our families interstate, overseas, watching via live stream. Thank you. And to Elise, it hasn't been easy, but you've obviously done remarkably well over the past week, over the past 10 years that we've been married. We're all very blessed to have you in our lives, and I couldn't think of a better mother or role model for our children. I think one of the most important life lessons to teach children is that of resilience. And so we're already off to a fairly good start from Elliot's perspective, given the challenges of 2020 and the disastrous COVID flight from Sydney that I just mentioned earlier. I think one learns resilience through having to experience pain and adversity, but then coming out the other side victorious. The tricky thing is that you don't want your children having to actually endure the pain and adversity themselves in the first place. So what do? How do you still teach the same lesson while still shielding your children from the hardship? Now, I can't claim to have all the answers, but Louis, my dad, said that of all of his friends, you were one of the smartest. So I might have to lean on you for some fatherly advice at some point in the future. But from my perspective, I think you can definitely learn from stories and from studying history. And Elliot, there's no doubt that one day you can learn from those before you that went through a lot to make today a reality, and you'll be inspired by it. I think you also have to appreciate that life isn't all sunshine and roses. And therefore, when disaster strikes, you can't let it frighten you. Quite the opposite, you've got to confront it head on, and better still, actually see it as an opportunity to test yourself, knowing that you can get through the difficult times, and then there's really not much that can ever stop you. So Elliot, I hope I can be the father to you that my dad was to me. And when the going gets tough, you can rely on me and your mother to be there for you when you'll probably need us most. And then hopefully one day you'll have what it takes to get through the tough times independently and then to keep moving forward. I love that. Keep moving forward. Very much what life's about, in my opinion. Anyway, Elliot, we're very blessed to have you in our lives and we love you very much. Thanks again.
Yishar koach. So I have a couple of presentations because it wouldn't be a simcha without presentations. Elliot, the first of these presentations, because I know you understand every word I'm saying right now, is a certificate reminding you who you are and that which has happened today. And we affirm to that. On the foot of the certificate, it reads that the crown of a good name is the highest crown of them all. And it is, as you heard from your father, certainly your parents hope for you that you grow into that, having the crown of a good name respected by all who know you. But to help you do that along the way, because that's a daunting responsibility, we've got two gifts. The first is a Torah. This one's soft and chewable and cuddly, and it'll get you through the first stages of life, but representative of the lessons that we hope will carry you through. And the second is not unique to humanity, but particularly useful in your family. You come from a long line of criers, and that is a good and beautiful thing. So a box of tissues. We have one last act to do before we're going to invite all of those who are joining us on Zoom to come up and join us on camera. In fact, two parts. And that is to offer the Birkat Kohanim, the blessing of family. And so, Dan, I'm going to ask you to go stand on the other side of Elise so that I'll hold the tissues. So you can place your hands on your son's head, because this is a contact blessing. Some call it the Birkat Mishpacha, some call it the blessing of family, some call it the priestly blessing. I just think it's the most beautiful blessing we have, and it's certainly the blessing we're offering to you. Isaac, you can come join your parents, come join them as well if you want. Ito. May God bless you and keep you. May the brightness of our tradition shine down upon you and be gracious to you. Wherever it is that this journey leads you, may continue to be a place of meaning, a place of purpose, a place surrounded by the love and care of family, but most of all, a place of peace. And to that we say Amen, and we wish you Mazel Tov. Isaac, I need your help. We need to give him some sweetness to help him remember this day. So can you walk over there and pick up that Kiddush cup that you've brought from home? Lean on down, pick it up. I might need two hands. I think it's a two-hand. I think it's a two-handed job. Two-hand? Okay. And we're going to hold it up high so everyone can see it.
Hold it up high, don't spill.
Hold it up high so they can see that you're holding a cup. And we're going to say together, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Borei Pri Hagafin, which is that we're blessing this wine and the sweetness that it represents. And then what I need you to do is first for yourself to take a little sip.
Take a little sip. Just a little sip.
It's grape juice. And then I need you to come over here and your mum's going to have a seat. I need you, look at you being very careful, making sure not to spill.
Over here.
And I need you to put your finger, just dip your finger into the cup and just put that, not into your brother's mouth, but just next to his mouth so he can, your finger. No, not the whole cup. It's very generous, the whole cup.
Put your finger on his cheek. Near his mouth. Put your finger on his cheek. Okay?
Just so he gets a bit of that sweetness. Beautiful. And we wish all of you Mazel Tov, as we want to invite all of those who are joining us in the Zoom to please turn on your cameras. I'm going to invite you to do that, and we're going to sing and celebrate the same song we started with, that simply says how good it is that we can be together. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבת אחים גם יחד. 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 How good it is,
How good it is,
how sweet it is,
how sweet it is
to be together on this day. How good it is,
how good it is,
how sweet it
how
is
sweet it is
to be together on this day. הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבת אחים גם יחד.
And before we say a goodbye to all of you, I just want to invite those of you that are watching us through the live stream on YouTube to put up a message. We're about to bring that up in the synagogue so that you guys can see the love that has been shared throughout there. But wish you all a good day. Please God, a new year and nothing but blessings for each and every one of us. Thanks for joining us.